How you doing, Jack? How's it going? Let's preface this by saying I think you were a little confused about our last conversation. Well, first conversation anyway. I think you were a little confused about what I had to say, so I figured I'd take the liberty of explaining a few things to you. You see, I'm not a terrorist, okay? I'm not a killer. I don't kill people. I kill ideas. I take ideas set forth and established, conditioned, and rip them the fuck apart. You have to understand, what I did in Utah 2 years ago, that was just an example. I mean, sure, it doesn't really go with my overall plan, but I just figured it was a way of showing people. You know, mix things up a little bit. I mean, come on. Who gives a fuck about Utah? I mean, what is there to remember Utah by anyways? What even exists in Utah? Mormons and, pretty much just Mormons. I don't remember seeing anything else when I was there. Who gives a good goddamn fuck about Utah? I think anybody misses Utah. I mean, it's been 2 fucking years and nobody even talks about it anymore. They don't even say nothing about it. They're not gonna say anything about rebuilding it. How the fuck are you gonna rebuild a state? Entire state? And if you were going to, why would you rebuild a state like Utah? I mean, get the fuck out of here. So, again, that was just an example. What's gonna happen? I'll tell you what's gonna happen. I would like to think that I gave you some small idea of what I'm about, but I guess I talk about my overall dream, my plans, but I don't really think you know very much about my plans anyway, so let's just say that in 1 year's time, this is a promise, 1 year's time, 1 year from now, 12 months, everything will be different. This will no longer be the same country. You see, I just kind of think that it's time for a change. You see, those idealistic and ethical minds, God bless their souls, will never chart a new direction for the world. It's just not going to happen. It can't happen. The world has become too biased and too stupid, especially this country. It's not going to happen. So, you gotta force something to happen. And that's what I'm gonna do. See, the government, it's ironic. You think the government, people hate the government. People despise the government. The government is responsible for so many problems people have. Most people just can't stand the government. And those that do, don't really know what the fuck the government's really about. But you gotta think, what would the world be like without the government? Well, our country anyways. What would it be like without a government? I mean, it'd be chaotic. Chaotic. No rules? There'd be no rules. You think about it. If it wasn't for the government, we wouldn't have any rules. But we wouldn't have our rights either. It's a little ironic. But, we can have whatever rights we want if there's no government. It leads me to my next point, which is, without the government, which is what you're looking at, there will be no rules, there will be no laws to abide by. All there will be is chaos. Because you think about it. People don't want the country that we live in now. They don't want the world we live in now. Well, of course, a lot of people are idiots nowadays, but hey, majority vote. I mean, hey, right? Fairness. It's all about fairness. So, I'll tell you what. In a year's time, it's gonna be fucking amazing. You probably don't think so, but I do. And let me give you at least a little example why. For one, what are we gonna get? Those rich fucking pricks up in Hollywood? We're gonna have them up in their houses And once there's no laws to protect their asses anymore, what's gonna happen? All those poor, innocent people that have no money, that those rich pricks have been screwing for fucking ages. What's gonna happen? Those poor people, they're gonna take a bunch of shit. They're gonna go up to Hollywood. They're gonna bash those fuckers' windows in. Yes, and then what's gonna happen? What good's a security system gonna do you if there's no one to answer your fucking call? So, more than likely, those people get killed. It's kind of funny, isn't it? But appropriate, I think. A little bit of poetic justice here and there. I mean, think back to 9/11. 9/11. Jesus Christ. 9/11. 2001. That was a tough year. Really tough. Bunch of terrorists take some planes and fly them into the World Trade Center. Well, knock down the Twin Towers. The Pentagon. Fuck. Think about it. That plane in Pittsburgh went down. What the fuck could have happened if that hadn't happened? You know what could have happened? Those fuckers just might have done my job for me. I mean, hey, who really expected that to happen, right? I didn't expect that some Al-Qaeda guys with box cutters could actually hijack a plane. I mean, fuck you. If I'm on that plane and you got a fucking box cutter, get the fuck on the floor, cocksucker. You're dead, okay? But I guess people take that safe approach, and they're not gonna fight. They didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen to them. They thought they were gonna be just fine, I suppose, right? But when it comes down to it, 9/11, in a lot of ways, I think it was a good thing. Hey, hear me out. Just hear me out. Alright? Again, those fuckers practically did my job for me in creating a new world. I hadn't planned it back that far, but it could have happened. So, caused mass panic in the streets. Mass panic. And it's been nearly a fucking decade. People still think about it, and they'll never forget. And that's great. So you see what things can be like. People band together, stick together. And that's a great thing. And trust me, in a year's time, when the world finally changes, when America finally changes, because trust me, eventually, the world will be next. So once America goes and becomes flourishing with freedom, complete freedom, not regulated freedom like we have now, complete, utter freedom. I know, freedom sometimes can be a bad thing. A lot of idiots will just flaunt freedom around just so that they can do anything they want. Well, fine. But then the good people will be able to take any direction they feel is necessary. Vigilance? Hey, my main idea behind this is the world will never change. America will never change. It'll stay the same as long as it's regulated and legislated. So, do you get it? Do you understand a little better now? In a year, hopefully, you'll be thanking me. Sure, there'll be chaos in the streets. There'll be people getting murdered and shot and stabbed and all that bullshit. But hey, it's not like any of that shit doesn't already happen. Ha! People won't change. But civilization will. The government's gonna be fucking history next year, okay? And I think, with my little speech about 9/11, I think you understand now. Like, things I get, ideas, man. 9/11, V for Vendetta, you ever see that movie? Fucking brilliant. What he did in that movie, at the end, fucking brilliant. I envision the same thing, except here instead of London. It'll start with a little bit of warning, a little bit of fireworks, and then, for the grand finale, liberation. So, I'll see you in 1 year, Jack. And trust me, I will see you. So, get another one of my messages in the meantime, at some point. And it all leads up to the eventual conclusion. So, until then.